What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K back again with another episode of Prognosis TV's Lyrics to Go. Hey, look, y'all, deeply apologize. I know some of y'all was done bowed out and was like, look, man, it took too long. Just too much stuff, but it's all on me. The content was running into issues because of Vlogit. I couldn't find the right Vlogit, I couldn't find the right program to mimic Vlogit because Vlogit is a piece of trash and just other things, man. But I think we got everything settled. We're gonna be all right, and we're gonna keep cranking out this content. Now, for those of you that are new that don't know what I'm talking about, this is PNTS Network's Patreon content where I, MM2K, talk about the latest and greatest in gaming news, culture, and updates. All right, and I do so on my morning brisks to go get my coffee. This one I'm doing in the afternoon because the morning was kind of hectic. Had a whole bunch of packages to send out, and we hurried up and did a live stream of Jedi Fallen Order on Stadia. That's a wonderful experience, and so forth. But let's keep it rolling. All right, so the subject matter today is going to be an interesting article done by 9 to 5 Google, where they talk about how, in actuality, this whole thing about Google's going to kill Stadia is a farce, and Google's track record with paid-for services is actually spot on and the best in the industry. And it's a fantastic article. I really urge everybody to read it. I might do a subsequent follow-up to this, rather, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to focus too much on the article. I want you guys and gals to read it. But I want to talk about what I feel might be the foundation of this information, or who. And I want to talk about what has transpired over time, because this is just coming out right now. But thanks to certain entities that have been pushing this message, it's come out. People are aware of it, and we've been arguing against the muck with it. And it kind of underscores why, again, for those that aren't familiar with my platform, or why we bother to deal with people that, quote unquote, have something bad to say about Google or Stadia, that it's beyond that. It's about making sure that information is held accountable, and the people that are giving the information are also held accountable, and agendas are exposed, and all this other stuff, because we wholeheartedly believe that information is of the most important essence that you can come across in life. I wake up every morning saying, what can I learn new today? Not what new thing I can be told today, but what I can learn new. And when you learn something new, I think learning, or many that care about information and the accuracy of it, know that accuracy of information is at the key of learning. If you're getting a whole bunch of junk data, then are you in essence learning anything? And the answer to that is no. So we know that the key to learning is accuracy. We're fighting for the accuracy of the information in gaming, because what we have is we have a lot of people that know how to shout out fancy words and sound all articulate and all the other stuff, but they don't put any care into the information that they're cascading down. So you have a lot of people in this community that partake upon certain services and products that aren't technically savvy at all, but they enjoy the advent of maybe the most powerful console or the fastest this or that. Those buzzwords get them rolling, And those that have agenda, either the product sellers, the retailers, or the media, they have agendas. And because of those agendas, they benefit off of the ignorance of the casual consumer, so they can benefit. And that's not right. And I get it, a lot of people don't care about that, but we do. We do, because we used to be victims of that, and we done lost a bunch of money being sold a false bag of goods multiple times until we educated ourselves. And once we educated ourselves, we took it upon ourselves to, make sure that we do the best thing that we can to inform people so they can make the right purchasing decision, so they don't go through what we go through. And I want to say, after being mildly successful at it, we just sit back sometimes and we say to ourselves, as people say, "Oh, why are you doing that? Is that even necessary?" And we say, and once there's any speckle of doubt, we think back to when we didn't have anybody helping us. And we say, you know what, we don't want people to go through what we went through. So that's always our operator's Miranda to continue on that battle for the integrity of the information being cascaded. All right, enough with all that bibble babble. The article is about how sites like Google Graveyard is a farce because it doesn't accurately depict what Google has closed and why. They don't show you everything from 5,000 feet. Now, Google Graveyard is a site made by someone who, was on that soapbox kicked against the anti-conglomerate Google, the evil Google. And I'm not trying to say, look, I'm not one to say that I think Google is turning water into wine and breaking a small piece of fish and being able to feed 1,000. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the Stadia product, the product that this platform, Stadia Dosage, specializes in, is a product that not only currently right now is a technical marvel, not only has a lot of promise, but it is one that can positively change the lives of gamers, and is doing so right now. And because of that advent, anybody who could be positively influenced by what Stadia has to offer, we want them to be aware of what this thing does, through transparency. No fog, no smoke screen, no agenda. Just tell you what it is and what it isn't. And for those that know what it is, if you feel it'll benefit you, great. If for whatever reasons, for what it isn't, you don't see any benefits, then move on. We're not here to force anyone's purchasing decision, just inform it. And because that is our goal, when people try to cast false judgment on it, that's where we step in. 9 to 5 Google did a great job in helping to detail the falsehood of Google Graveyard in this article as it relates to Stadia and just Google in period. But I want to let everyone know that the first person that championed this was that I knew of was Chase of Stadia Talk. Shout out to him, Chase of Stadia Talk, and also this week on Stadia Unfiltered. Shout out to him. He was of the first within the Stadia community that was beating the drum and said, hey, look, Google actually is of the best with paid for services. Like this whole thing about Google Stadia not going to survive because Google has this track record, something that's been echoed by big time mainstream people that people trust. They make purchasing decisions off of that people trust. We're echoing this. Small guys like me and Chase and whoever, they were beating the drum on this. So I want credit to be attributed to where credit is due, and shout out to him for that. But again, for those that are not aware, check out the 9 to 5 Google article. Look for it, where they're busting the myths about Google just, fictitiously, or not fictitiously, but superficially just shutting down paid for services. They're of the best in their industry when it comes to preserving paid for services. And Stadia is a paid for service. So definitely check out that article. It's a very, very great read. And again, if you get an opportunity, send a kudos to Chase, because it was because of him that people like myself were well equipped with information, well informed. And then we, as people were casting doubt, even within the community, we were able to fall back on that information for reassurance and say, look, when they say they're in it for the long term, this is a company really with one of the best track records with preserving their paid for services. So, we got a good enough track record here to trust and believe what's being told to us. So kudos to him for that. But check out the article. Like I said, I'll do a subsequent article, or I'll do a subsequent talk on it. But this is exactly why when they're doing wrong, we go after the words of people like Tom Warren and Paul Tassi, because they are the ones that championed falsehoods like the falsehoods that you see at Google Graveyard. And because of that, actual people were deterred from this, where it could have made a change to their livelihood. It could have been something so positive for them, and they were pushed away from it because people have agendas. They're afraid of cloud gaming because they think it's going to take away their dedicated devices next week. And to me, that's sad. It's gone past the point of pathetic, and it's just sad now. But it's a shame as well. People like Squid, now thank goodness people like Squid was actually thrown an additional olive branch to see what this platform could do, but some people weren't that lucky, weren't that fortunate, all because they were fed bad information. There are people that want a game that just think that the options are not out there, and gaming is life-changing for so many people. It's a great hobby to get into. This is the bread and butter of the world. No, but it's a real great thing. It's been a part of my life for over 30 plus years. Even in some of my roughest patches, I could just always lean on the crutch of gaming to get me through it. And a lot of people in worse situations, it was life-saving for them. So we take this a little bit more seriously than others. Again, it's not the bread and butter of the world. It's not going to bring peace to the nations, but what it does do is, if it comforts those, my fellow sisters and brethren, I'm going to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that I'm into as well. So I just want to put that out there. But thank you so much for listening to this. We'll do a part 2 next week. But if you enjoy this, hit that like button, share it out, because if you like it, someone else might like it. And with that said, thank you so much. You have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.